Hey guys, so in this video, you're going to be planning 2023 with me. Whatever your goals are, whatever your dreams are, whatever you want to achieve via 2023, it's 100% possible because we have the power within ourselves to manifest whatever we want. Like, even if you've not made or maybe all the money you made this year was like 3 million sum total, right? You can still make at least 100 million next year. And sure, maybe it might not hit it next year, you might hit it next 2 years, but basically, with consistent and deliberate planning, you're going to be able to make progress faster than you can ever imagine. And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, not just understand, see how you can use this for yourself. So I'm going to give you a breakdown of how I'm able to write down my plans and plan for the year. And you can use this. I've learned this from my mentors. I've paid some money for my coaching courses and for people to coach me on mindset and look at that. And I'm giving this to you, right? I've also learned this from Sam Ovens and the rest of that. So let's dive into it. So when you want to plan for 2023, which is basically next year, the first thing you want to do is you want to go through 2022, which is currently this year I'm recording it, right? So what went on this year, right? In the first month of this year, how much did you make? Did you make way more money on May this year than you ever made again throughout this year? If you did that, what made you make that much money in May 2022 this year? And why can't you replicate that? Why can't you replicate what happened in May over and over again so you can make more money over time? Right? And keep in mind, basically, I do freelancing, right? So I'm going to be narrowing down these things towards freelancing, right? So you can also put it like, if you got your biggest paying client on May 2022, what did you do that led you to closing him? Go back, if it's an Upwork, you got that client, go back, study that proposal. What did you say in that proposal, right? Study the job description, study the job proposal, find out the good things that work, right? Not just that, you also want to figure out what went wrong in 2022. What mistakes did you make, right? So, did you delay on getting something, or did you delay on taking action on something? Let's say you got a course, but you bought a course, but you took like 2 to 3 months before you opened the course, right? Because I know people do that. Some people even buy courses and they forgot they bought courses, right? Or did you fuck up with your clients because basically you were more self-serving than client-serving, right? You were focusing more on serving yourself, making your money. I see this a lot. I see this mistake a lot when it comes to freelancing, right? People are so focused on making money. They are so focused on making money that they forget that in order for that money to keep on coming in consistently, that means you have to be able to, what do we call it? In order for that money to keep on coming consistently, you have to be able to fulfill for that client. You have to give the client satisfaction. And people always forget that. I see that happening, right? I'm like, the reason why Walter in there, as a top freelancer, top copywriter, is being able to get clients to easily pay me $2,000, pay me $5,000, and even get some royalties, is because when I'm working with a client, I go above and beyond for that client, right? Sure, I want to make money. I want to make money. And usually they send me the 50, and usually I always like 99% of the time I always get my 50% payment upfront. But clients being fulfilled, feeling fulfilled, and being satisfied with the work you've done, it's what's going to keep you in the business longer. Think of longevity. Don't just think of, oh, I got this client and you get paid and you cannot complete the job and then you have to find a new client. That is not sustainable. Okay. So you think of what went wrong. And this is not just for business, but I'm going to focus more on business, but this is for life, right? Let's say you lost the love of your life this year too. What went wrong? What happened to the relationship? Did you ignore some red flags? Were you too blah 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 and the rest of that, right? You want to think towards that. I don't think what went right, and I already talked about this recently. Basically, what did you do that made me maybe helped you get your best clients, that helped you get your best clients? What did you do that helped you make at least maybe 500K that month, 1 million naira that month, that helped you make the biggest amount of money you made that month, right? What did you do right? Go back, look at it and say, okay, this is what worked. This is what, write it down, literally, write it down. I want you to get a piece of paper as you're following this and write it down. 2022, what worked? I mean, what went wrong? I lost my biggest clients, right? I lost my biggest clients, something like that. I lost my biggest clients. I lost love of my life. If you are planning for your love life, or you're planning for your fitness, you're planning to be more healthy. You gained weight. You gained maybe too much weight. You're weighing like 100 plus kg now, right? And stuff like that. What went wrong with that? If you are running ads or any of those kind of things, or even down to your skill of service, right? You run ads, you're like, I stopped generating leads, or I stopped putting in the work, I got lazy, right? And you want to go into those minute details. Very important to understand where this is coming from, okay? So on the other hand, you think, what went right? And you go, I got my biggest paycheck, I got my biggest client, I got a retainer client that's paying me at least $2,000 every single month. I got better at my skill. I got better at fitness. I got more healthy. I ate right. And the rest of those kind of, it's not a must be so mad, but you want to think about it from that aspect, right? So you write those things, what went right? And then you write, what mistakes did you make? I bought a course and didn't start it. I didn't buy a course until the price increased. I didn't believe I could make money online, or I hesitated. I delayed on taking the right decisions. And what mistakes? I spent too much money on gadgets or on things that are inconsequential, right? On things that don't move the needle forward. You wasted money, so you want to know that. Now you know the mistakes you made, you know what went wrong. And basically, when you combine these two, you basically know things that you didn't do well, right? Now, what you want to do is you want to reverse this, right? So if you spend too much money this year, wasting money on gadgets or women or on something else, then you want to find a way to cancel that out in next year, 2023, right? The next thing you want to do is, if you what do we call it? If you stopped, if you got fat, if you didn't take your fitness healthy, you want to find a way to get healthy in 2023, right? Even if it's like doing 20 push-ups every morning and 20 push-ups every evening, right? You want to consider those kind of things. All right, so that's basically it, guys. You want to find out what, then you want to find that when you look into the tab, this the section where you write what went right, you're thinking, I got my biggest paycheck. So now what you want to think is, what did I do, or what was I doing before I got that biggest paycheck? Because it's cause and effects, basically. For someone to pay you $1 million, you have to have offered something them of value of $1 million, or you have to have positioned in a way that it's worth $1 million to that person, or basically $2,000. That's about 1.4 million naira, right? You want to think of it from that perspective. And then you know that these are the things you want to do more of in 2023, so you can be the optimal best that you can be. Okay, so that's basically step one. And as you can see, that's basically like step one alone already helps you start planning really well for 2023. Okay, so now the next thing you want to do in step two is find the sum total of your goals for 2023. See, whatever your goals are, there's a sum total for it. You want to make more money in 2023, right? Sure. But how much more do you want to make? You want to make $5,000 every month. So $5,000 every month, that means you basically want to make $6,000, right? Or you just know you want to make $1 million. That's cool, right? $1 million, you basically still have to divide it, right? You want to find that sum total of what you want to do. If it's not about money, if it's about love life, you want to get married next year, then that's the sum total, right? You want to get married and you want to get proposed to next year, right? There are things you can do that would attract a man or attract a woman than get you proposed to, right? Or get you in loving relationship, right? So you want to, these are the sum total of what your goals are, right? Find a partner, get better at health, right? If you are weighing, let's say 120 kg this year, and you want to reduce to basically let's be realistic, right? Because you don't want to lose weight too fast, and then it gives you health complications. So if you're weighing 120 kg and you want to reduce 90 kg next year, then that's the sum total of your goal, right? You know you want to get down to this thing, or at least you want to be at least 100 kg of muscle if you're a guy, right? All those kind of things. Those are like the sum total of your goal. Now, what you want to do is you want to reverse engineer it. And right here, I gave you an example. If at the end of 2023, you are taking a vacation in Santorini and still making money, why are you not doing anything? What did you do that brought you there? Another way you can think about is if at the end of 2023, you found an intentional partner, let's say you're thinking about love life again, right? What did you do that brought you to that aspect of your life? Okay. If at the end of 2023, you are weighing this thing 90 kg or 95 kg, you have abs, you have a flat tummy, your curves are showing, your six packs is showing, your arm muscles are showing. What did you do to get you to that distance, right? In the case of, let's say you want to make, you have a subtotal of your goal of how much you want to make for 2022. And that's not really that much. That's like let's say $100,000, right? Or you want to make, let's say $6,000. That's like very good amount of money if you're living in Nigeria, right? So you want to make $60,000 next year. Okay, so $60,000 next year. If you divide it by 5, that's basically 5,000. If you divide it by 12, that's basically $5,000 every year, right? You want to get proposed this thing. That you want to get a partner that's intentional next year. Then you want to, that means you know the kind of partner you want, right? So you're going maybe to the church, you're going to the gym, you're going to eateries, you're going to like these events that are cool-headed, because that's where you're going to like find people who actually have sense, right? You don't want to start going to the club or all these kind of places, except that's like the kind of partner you want that vibes to energy. All right. So those are the kind of things to do. You want to bring your weight down to 90 kg. That means you are rationing your food. You get smaller plates so you can do this thing. You buy water, you take a lot of water, you get fruits that can do this thing. You monitor your portions, you do exercise, you take at least 10,000 steps every single day. And the rest of that, right? Now, those are the kind of things that you say, okay, so now that I'm 90 kg, you're taking yourself into the future, basically, at the end of 2023. You're like, okay, now I weigh 90 kg. And I'm really grateful for all the things I did this year to get me to this. And I basically took 10,000 steps every day, went to the gym at least 3 to 4 times a week. I rationed my portion, learned to eat more healthy foods, learned to avoid carbs and focus more on protein, and the rest of those kind of things, right? So that's basically what you want to do. You want to find the sum total of whatever it is you want to achieve. And I'm sure like for like 99.9% of us, you watching this video right now, it's about money, right? You find that sum total and then you reverse engineer it. So you want to make $60,000 a year. What did you do that got you to $60,000? And I'm going to also break this down further in other steps. Basically, that means you break it down to by 12, that's $5,000 a month. Now, what would you do that will get you to $5,000 a month? How many prospects would you DM? What offer would you come up with? How much would you put that offer on? How many proposals would you send on Upwork? And the rest of that, right? What do you need to do right? How much better do you need to be at your skill so you can get these clients better? How much better you practice these things and write it out down there. Okay. So now after that, we move on to step 3, which is think in terms of metrics and things that truly move the needle. Okay. So so that's where we break this down. Now, how much do you want to make in 2023? $50,000, $80,000, right? So if you want to make $50,000, right? So you say, okay, I want to make $50,000 throughout 2023. It's not a bad salary. I mean, people who are even staying here in Dubai earning amounts of money, right? And they're living somewhat comfortably, right? And basically, people who are in first world countries, in other countries are still saying like $50,000 a year. Like that's like good money, because if you break it down, that's basically $4,000 every single month, right? So if you're earning $4,000 every single month at current Nigeria exchange rate, that's basically like 2.8 million naira. That's almost like 2.8 million naira every single month. So that's like decent money, right? So you can almost buy a new Camry every single month if you want. So that's it. You want to think in terms of metrics and things that actually move the needle forward. So you've identified your goal as $50,000 a month. Now, what do I need to do to make that money this year? You want to make $4,000 every single month. What do you have? I have a skill. What skill is that? Copywriting. Or I have a skill. What skill is that? Affiliate marketing. Or basically you have a business model. That's a business model. Sorry about that. You have a business model, right? Or have a business model. What's business model? Like freelancing. What skill do you have that you can get to that, right? So you think about it. So in that terms, when you think about it, you're like, all right, so you basically want to make $4,000 a month. First thing you want to look at is I want to make it via freelancing. You want to look at your high income skill. So this is my high income skill. How much demand is there for it, right? And that's where you want to look at what you have in the high page freelancer premium program, right? You have the Kick-Ass copywriting course, you have the content writing course, you have the UI UX design course, and there's even a new one I've not uploaded yet, basically, right? You have the digital marketing, you have technical writing, and the rest of that, right? These are all high income skills that can get you paid really good amounts of money every single month. So now you have this skill. The next thing you want to do is, where do I find clients that'll pay you this? And that's still tackled and taken care of in the HPF premium program, right? So any of my programs you get, those are all tackled out, right? Or that you are currently inside now. So you want to think about that, right? And you're like, okay, so in this case, I'm just going to simply use simply going to use, let's say, copywriting, right? So now you want to be an email copywriter and you want to make $1,000, at least you want to make $1,000 per gig. So what offer can you give to people that would offer that or make them pay you for that? The first thing you want to think about, you want to think in, like I said, in measurable terms of metrics. So number one, you want to find a place where you can get people who would pay this amount of money. Then not just that, you want to make sure you are good enough at the skill. So how do you get good enough at this skill so that they're paying you well every day? You practice every day, at least 30 minutes to 1 hour of practice every single day. And slowly, you are getting better at copywriting. If it's copywriting you're doing, right? That's simply handwriting, copy, or any of those kind of things, right? Now, the next thing you want to do, as you're getting better, the next thing you want to factor in is you need to be out there so that people see you and know that, okay, you want to do so. So you're creating content. So you spend out like 30 minutes again every day creating content. Now, what you want to do is you want to be doing outreach because you don't want to just rely only on or people coming into you. You want to go out there and meet people. So your outreach is basically via Upwork and let's say LinkedIn or Facebook groups, right? So at least you set a target every single day. You are sending 5 proposals every day. If you're sending 5 proposals every day, maybe combined on both Upwork and LinkedIn or individually, if you're sending 5 proposals on LinkedIn or connection messages on LinkedIn and listening every day, that means in 10 days that's 50, in 20 days that's 100, in this thing 30 days that's 150, and that's basically 155, right? At max in a month, right? So that's basically 155 proposals sent on Upwork a month. There is no way there's no way you won't get a client or you won't make at least $1,000 if you send 150 proposals on Upwork a month. Absolutely no way, except you don't know what you're doing. And that's not possible if you have my program, right? Or if it's on LinkedIn and you have an offer, there's no way you send 150 conversations, you start 150 conversations a month, right? And you have an offer and you follow everything that is you follow all the right metrics, all the right steps, and at least you don't get at least one person to hire you. Even if that person doesn't hire, even if you don't get in that first month, in the second month, you know what to do. Maybe you need to bump up the numbers. And 150 is actually, I would say, it's decent numbers. That's good numbers because if you're consistent with it over time, it's basically that easy. But if you are like you know you really want it, you want to be the biggest, baddest motherfucker out there, and you want to dominate. You don't want to be playing the small game. Then run those numbers up. Don't be doing 5, be doing 10, be doing 15, be doing 20. Find a way to consistently do that, right? Make out time for it. And this will take you like maybe 4 hours a day, right? And you might be a little bit antisocial, but that's fine. Don't you want to make money? You want to make the most money out of it, right? Cool. So that's what you want to do. Okay. So the next thing you want to do, so that's you want to find these metrics, because once you found these metrics, you know what moves the needle. Because like I said earlier, sorry about that. If you want to make $4,000, what will get you to $4,000 is by getting clients that will pay you $4,000, right? How do you get clients that pay you $4,000 that will pay you $4,000? So you either get 1 client or 2 clients at $2,000 or 4 clients at $1,000 or 8 clients at $500, $500 right? Each. Cool. Now, how do you get these clients? By outreach. How do you do outreach? On Upwork, on LinkedIn. How many outreach do you want to send? Those are the things that do the needle. How do you retain these clients? By being good at my skill and understanding what they want. That's simply how it works, right? This is simply how you make those plans. If it's for losing weight, it's still the same thing. You take 10,000 steps a day. So what time do you take 10,000 steps a day? Maybe instead of you're a student, instead of entering bowls to school, you trek to school, right? You trek around your department. Let someone beat you small, and those kind of things, right? If you find a time, you find time to go to the gym at least maybe 3 to 4 to 5 days a week, right? You find time to go to the gym at least 3 to 5 days a week. And that's basically it. If you if you're talking about relationship, it's the same thing. You find one extracurricular activity that takes you out, or it might not be. The best part about this is that if you don't want to go outside, you can simply join like messages, group chats, or you can simply just perform activities where people would see you, people who you feel like are your ideal partner. You can see them too, so you can easily approach them, or they can approach you. All those kind of things, right? So that's basically it. You want to bring it down to the metrics. So like I was saying, if you want to build muscle too, right? So you also put 20 push-ups per day, right? 20 push-ups and 20 sit-ups per day, every single day, or maybe 4 days a week, 5 days a week. You bring out a calendar, you map it out Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, right? You bring out a calendar, map it out, 20 push-ups every single day, on each and every one of these days. You want to make sure that it's quite clear to you, okay? So now you basically know you want to think in that terms of metrics, because that's what truly moves the needle. And you want to also think of what is going to move the needle into getting you those metrics. Because if you can't break it down to that listing, you are going to be confused, right? And it's going to be overwhelming for you. That's one thing people don't get. If you are thinking, okay, I want to make $6,000 this year, if you think about it, it looks so big and it looks so far out of reach. But you break it down and you're seeing it's just $5,000 a month, still looks a lot to you. But if once you break it down to the smallest detail, which in this case is basically sending at least 10 proposals every day or 5 proposals every day, and just focusing on putting in that work relentlessly, you're going to start seeing results. You get your first clients, you see your first, and you start seeing clients hiring you, and you making that money. And you realize that it's a matter of either you just increasing your price or getting better at your skill, or you finding more clients and outsourcing the job for you to make more money, right? It's as simple as that. And I'm going to you can simply use Google Sheets to track this, okay? So the next thing in step 4 is you want to plan for both business and you want to plan for life, okay? So you don't just want to only focus on business, because if you focus only on business, then there's still life that's out there waiting for you. I understand that as driven people, as entrepreneurs, as people who want to make money online, because believe it or not, if you're listening to this right now and listening to it up to this point, you are someone who actually wants to do better for his or herself. And you don't want to be like the average person, okay? So you don't want to do you don't want to be like the average person. So you also want to be, but so that means you're going to be more focused, right? You don't want to be that distracted. So you want to plan for both business and plan for life. So you don't want to only focus on making $60,000 this year, and at the end of the year, you're not healthy, right? Or you don't want to make all this money, or you are fit and you cannot talk to girls, you cannot toast a babe, or even if you're not really interested in a baby, you cannot be. I think you should just have like good people communication skills, right? And those kind of things. So you want to plan for both business and life and in other areas of your life. Now, one thing you would notice is, I also talked about have clarity here, but one thing you would notice is that among everything I mentioned here, I did not mention, okay, 2023, I want to buy a car. I want to buy a monitor. I want to start a business, right? I didn't mention all of these things because while they are part of your goal, they are a sum total of the grand picture, which is making much more money. So please, what you want to do is, if you want to buy a car, these are other things you want to do. And this is how you find out how much you want to make in 2023, right? So you think, okay, what do you want to do? I want to buy a car. Like how much would that car cost? If it's, given the Nigerian economy now, if it's costing 6 million, just put it at 8 million, just put it at 8 or 9 million, just put it like that, right? So 8 million for the car, 1 million for the laptop. You want to send your parents more money, at least 300K every month, right? You put that, you times it by 12. That's basically 3 times 12. That's basically 4.8 million a year, right? So 4.8 million. You put everything you want to do together, and you get that grant, and you also put miscellaneous, please. Right? You put extra money you want because you also want to have some money in savings, right? And you put miscellaneous and you bring everything down. So it's basically down to, like, let's say 20 million. It's not really that big, basically, but or 30 million. Then you can just convert it to dollars. Or you don't even need to calculate it in naira. You can calculate it in dollars. But if you're earning in naira, you can do that too. That's also fine, right? And that's how you get the figures that you want. And you know that, okay, you want to buy a car, right? You want to buy this, you want to buy that. You know that there is no how that you make $60,000 this year, right now. Don't focus on the car. There's no how there's no how that you make $60,000 this year that you won't buy that car because you've calculated everything down to the minute details, right? It's as simple as that. There's no how you've done all of these things that you want to do, all these side things you want to do. You want to eat because you want to lose weight so you can be better in bed. You want so that you can be fitter so you can run one mile, you can run 20 miles, you can attract more girls, you can attract more guys, all those kinds of things, right? There's no how that you lose weight and those things won't happen. There's no how that you eat right and those things won't happen. There's no how that you do all of these things because there are reasons you want to do all these things, right? That these things won't happen. So if you want to buy a car, you want to buy a laptop, you want to do this, you want to at least get a new phone. It's not everyone has a place they plan from, right? Okay, so someone who's entirely new now, depending on their own concept of money and imagination, they might not want to plan for $60,000. For most people in Nigeria, it's $12,000 a year is okay. That's like $8,000 every single month, and that's like 700 and something K currently every single month, right? So for most people, that's okay, right? So you know that there's no how you make $60,000 that year, or you make $60,000 in 2023, and you won't be able to afford that car. You won't be able to afford the trip that you want to take to Dubai, or you want to take to Santorini, or you want to take to Seychelles, right? These are the kind of things you want to. This is basically how you do it. And once you have that ground figure, you break it down using everything I have taught to you above, right? Thinking in terms of metrics and setting down your goals and reverse engineering it. Okay. So that's basically it. And I hope you have a pen and paper as you've been writing everything I'm talking to you about here. So finally, step 5 is basically advice, right? So you want to make sure that you take speed. You make decisions fast. If you tarry too long on a decision, you're most likely going to take the wrong decision sometimes. And in most cases, right? All right, let's say you're a guy and you see this fine babe and you want to approach her. And instead of you to just go up there and walk up to her and say, hey, what's your name? I saw you and blah, blah, blah. You start thinking, you start thinking, before you know, you're like, I don't want to approach the girl again. And what you've basically done is you've convinced yourself that you don't want that again when you want that. Like this thing also applies to women or something like that, right? And you want to take this into more conscious and deliberate beliefs or things that I'm going to move the needle forward, right? So if it's in a case of toasting a girl, maybe you can just let that go. That's not really important, or like those kind of things, right? Depending on if that's what's important to you, fine. I don't really recommend it, right? But what I'm trying to say is that you want to take speed because, all right. So this year, there was a decision I was meant to take earlier this year, and I didn't take it. And basically, when I said, all right, let me come and make this decision now, it was costing me times 3 to 5 times what it would have cost me if I had just done it then when I was supposed to do it, right? So you want to understand that money loves speed. Not just take decisions on maybe buying a course or doing things or investing in yourself. Not just that. You want to use speed when completing actions. Wake up in the morning, don't touch your phone. Start handwriting copy. Lay down the copy you want to write or whatever it is you want to do, your morning ritual, basically. After praying to God and praying for this thing, you don't touch your phone, you go straight to these things that you want to do, right? You start doing that, you start sending out proposals, you're sending out, like I said, speed and volume, right? You are sending out proposals every single day. You're not waiting for people. You're not basically waiting for anyone to do that, right? And I don't know the best way to actually explain speed to you, but it's very important that you don't think on things too long. Another way I define speed is by, how I explained everything to you now. Don't overthink it. So let's say you know that you need to send 10 proposals today. Don't think to yourself, do I feel like sending 10 proposals today? Just start sending out the proposals until you hit the number. You know you need to do 20 push-ups today. Don't think to yourself, do I need to do 20 push-ups today? Your body is good, your mind is fine, everything. Just hit the ground and start doing the push-ups. That's the best way you can get speed. And that you would see so much faster progress. So much faster progress in the smallest time possible. And I cannot overemphasize how important this is. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is you want to learn how to say no. You want to learn how to say no to a lot of things. You're going to have to learn how to say no to distractions. Walter, come, let's go and party. No. Come, let's move to XYZ countries or 20 countries in 20 minutes. No, I've not completed my goals yet. I've not completed my plans yet, right? Learn to say no to distractions or things that would not benefit you. Come and borrow me money you're saving to buy cars. No, don't carry that money to go and toast babe or to go and basically buy a shoe or buy something fancy that would not give you this thing, right? Say no to each and every one of these things, okay? So the next thing you also want to learn how to do is to learn how to say yes. Say yes to the right decision. Say yes to eating healthy. Say yes to investing in things that will improve your life. It could be masterminds, it could be classes, it could be coaching programs, and the rest of that. Learn how to say yes to things that will improve your mind and learn how to say no, right? And a majority of discipline is more of even learning how to say no than learning how to say yes, right? And somebody in distraction that's going to come up, and you want to learn how to avoid those distractions. And here's an extra bonus for those of you who are married and have kids that are probably watching this. You want to factor, when you're planning for 2023, you want to factor in distractions and how you can circumvent those distractions. If you have kids, that means you're most likely going to be better or more active doing stuff at night when they're asleep, or maybe within from 9 a.m. to this thing when they're in school, and maybe you're at work but you're not doing much, and those kind of things, right? So that's basically it. Learn how to take decisions fast. Learn how to do things fast. It's tasks that is meant to take you 10 minutes or 20 or 30 minutes. Don't let it take you 5 hours or a whole day to do it. Learn how to say no to a lot of distractions and things that want to unnecessarily take money from your pocket without adding more into it. And learn how to say yes to basically things that would improve you and make your life better. So I hope I've been able to really help you with this video. I believe I will release more within these lines. I'm supposed to show you how to use Google Sheets to actually lay out this plan, because aside from writing, because you want, like I said, you want to be deliberate. This is going to be written in notes and everything like that. You can also plan it in something in basically this is something like a Microsoft Excel spreadsheets or Google spreadsheets, and so you are tracking everything down to the minute details, right? And you know what you need to do. So I hope I've been able to help you. If you found this video really helpful, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and drop a comment. Whatever you feel like, is this a good video? Say yes. If it's a bad video, say it's a bad video. And basically, I'll see you on the next video, guys. So have a wonderful day. And I want all of us to make really good money next year. So hope I get to do this with you.